Good morning, everyone. Yes, good morning. What time is it? 9 o'clock? God blimey, I fell asleep. I fell asleep again. It's nuts. But anyway, it's good evening. Film tonight, film TV, whatever you want to talk about, any films. I'll be talking about that disclosure a little bit later on. Oh, it's behind me. Yeah, look, I didn't even know that. Jason just puts them up, you see. I don't know what's going on behind me. So disclosure day. Talk about that in a moment, if I might. And let's see what you've been saying. Big up Frank and Red, says the TW. Thank you, T. Good evening to you. Like, share, hype, and subscribe. I don't even know what that hype is, to be honest. Thank you, T, anyway. Thank you so much. Buonasera, Franco and chats. Hope you're all well. Yes, Bella. Good to see you. And the lovely Toscana. Buonasera, Franco and Red. Looking forward to another great evening of chat. Ciao, bello. Spero che stai bene. Do you know, I messaged you last night, didn't I? And about a certain thing that I can't reply on here. Can't say on here because you asked a question and I texted you. As soon as I fell asleep. And I was talking to Johan as well. And I just fell asleep. I said to Johan, just before I was going on to Toscana, I said, I'm going to make myself a cup of hot chocolate and then go to bed. So he said, okay. So anyway, he made myself some hot chocolate. And I was talking to Toscana, just messaging. And then Johan. And then I fell asleep. I woke up at 2:10 in the morning, then I went to bed. Then I had my results from my blood test last week. I don't know, they want more bloods off me. This doctor phoned me up, not the hospital. This is my own doctors, And he said, listen, I need more blood. I said, listen, you're draining me. I said, I've only given blood the other day at the hospital. I gave blood last week. How many do you want off me and why do you want more? But he's a nice fella, he's a lovely doctor. And he said, but we have to. So I've got to go. I said, listen, I can't go this week. I said, I'll go next week. I'll go next week and see you. So he said, okay, that's fine. And, a couple of other things that he wants as well. So, they asked the same question. See, I haven't got to say the same doctor. What they are, they're not locums. They're actually there. But I can't see the same doctor. I don't know about any of you. But I'm not seeing the same doctor, so they're asking the questions all the time. I said I gave 2 examples last week. I gave another example to the hospital this week. He said, but I need them. He said, I've got a low blood count, bloods. He said, so I need them badly. I said, well, if you've got them, you must have a prognosis then. I'd like you to come here. And that's just to give blood and something else. He said, rather not go into. Mr. B. Good evening, Frank and Jack. Good evening, Mr. B. Mr. B. I hope you're all having a good Thursday. Mad's weather. Get smashing those likes, says Mr. B. Thank you, Mr. B. Oh, yeah, I follow the Blues. I haven't seen him for a while. Hello, young man. Look on there, very cleaned up. Why didn't I look cleaned up the last time? I just had a shower before to wake me up, to be honest. Mr. Blue. There are cleans up. What did he say? Very cleans up there and dressed well, my old mate, up the fucking toppies. Good to see you anyway, Mr. Blue. And the Woodmaster. Hello, Frank and everyone else. I'm in the middle of watching a film you recommended called Extraterrestrial. I'm liking it up to now. The Woodmaster. Well, why didn't you watch it before? I can't get over you people. Should have watched it. I would have spoke about that. I think I was telling Phil. To watch a thing called The Signal. The Signal. You know, this was after watching, and he recommended. I've seen it before. I can bite my fucking lip. Sorry to swear. Really. I keep biting my lip because there's something inside it and it's swollen. So every time I talk, bite my lip. Especially when I eat. That's terrible. Anyway, I asked them to watch, the Truman Show. So I asked them to watch this. It's a smashing little film. Lawrence Fishburne, cracking actor. He's really black actor, American. But it's a really good film. It must have been a low budget one. And he's the main star. I don't know any of the actors in it. There's three youngsters in it. And they're good. They're very good actors, by the way. I've never seen them before. And I said, watch it. And it's just like, I'm not saying the film's like Extraterrestrial. It's just like Extraterrestrial that I told people to watch. And some have watched it, but you will enjoy it, by the way. You will. Steve, here he is, look. He's the only man to go to gigs everywhere, this fella. Whether it's at Anfield or some little club in town or some little pub or anything he goes. Steve Evo. And he calls everyone forever. But that's Steve. That's Steve. No football tonight, please. No football. No footy. I follow the Blues, says Mr. Blue. He says, good to see you still streaming, mate. And thanks. Oh, thanks for joining us. That's nice. That's nice. We Scousers have to stick together. Not skid together, stick together. And the Woodmaster said, I'm not sure if it's the same film you recommended. It's from 2014. It will be, I'm sure of it, because just let me know. At the start of it, you see a young girl and she gets a message off her dad on a laptop. And they've got this fella, she's with a fella she's knocking about with. They're only a young couple, and he's bringing his mates to this cabin that they're going to sell because the girl's parents have split up, so they're just selling a cabin in the woods, and they're on the way there. Is that the same one? Let me know, Woodmaster, please. It's a good film, really is. And I Frank and all the people. Steve gives out good films, by the way. He recommends some good ones and series. And he says, if you haven't seen it, Backrooms is a great messed up. Oh, I'm not going to watch one of them. Messed up in the head. Blammy about is he messed up going for me up? What are you next month? Spine operation. And you're telling me to watch one? I'd rather watch Love Story, to be honest. So easy. Oh, lovely. I hope you're well, Linda. I've never seen you last night. She says, even if Frank, hope you feel much better. Thank you, Linda. I do, as well as can be expected. But I still can't get out, unfortunately. That's the only thing. That's the only thing. If I could get out, I'd go down and arrest that Steve Evans. Neil Purcell. Hi, Frank and chat. The Truman Show. We're all under the microscope. What, Neil, please watch. Please watch The Signal. And watch it right to the end. Watch it. It just starts off with three young people, two lads, and the two lads are mates, and he's got a girlfriend, one of them. And, like on the internet, and they're following this nomad, but, a name that comes up, Nomad. And the nomad says, don't try and follow me. So they decide to follow him. Because Nomad is leaving little clues and they're working it out where to go. So the three of them heads up. Watch it. Watch it. Even Steve Evans is like it. And Bella said, watch this mind-bending twist. What a lady. See? Us Italians stick together. That ending completely blew me away. I didn't see it coming at all. When the nomad's true identity and the reality of the facility were finally revealed. Yes. Amazing. If you said that, that's a great synopsis because you haven't given too much away. Because you've got to watch it to see what happens. That's a great synopsis, Bella. But I know Marcella wrote it. I know you told her what's all right. Because Bella, beautiful Italian lady, and she can speak broken English. So her daughter, Marcella, she just writes it out for it. What do you want to say, Mo? Yeah. Brilliant. Brilliant. Lovely. That's the same one, yes. That's it, mate. Watch that. Just watch it later. Watch it later. You know, if you're halfway through, just watch it. It's good. When you come on again, I'm not saying you're on the show, obviously, when you have another show, like say tomorrow night, if you come on again, Mr. B, because I don't think many people have watched Extraterrestrial, but we'll talk about it. And what you see in it, what you hear in it, like the music and things like that, we can talk about that because I'll go on about the music especially and, you know, the dialogue and especially the end. Steve Evans, I was going to watch that Citizen Vigilante. Turns it off after 20 minutes. Absolute phony, racist twaddle. Thanks, Dave, because I'm glad you said that because I was going to watch it and I thought, oh, no, why? Started watching Our Friends in the North again, Frank. Bostel, yeah. We watched a Jeremy Renner thing. Cracking little series. Steve, you're still there? What was the series called? I forget it. It's gone. Jeremy Renner. Oh, came to me then. It's about a city. It's good. It's good. American like, obviously. And the Woodmaster says, have you seen a very interesting documentary called Patient 17? It's the smoking gun. I'm going to watch that tonight. I'm going to watch it tonight. Patient 17. There was a film called Patient Something. And I like the actor Stanley Tucci. He's a cracking actor. If you don't know him, he's in the Silence. He's been in loads of things, Stanley Tucci. The Core, for example. I watched that with him in, and that was Patient Something. That was a good film. That was a good film. Patient, I forget what number, like, it wasn't Patient 17. But that's interesting, I know what you mean. The Master. And Bella says, you're right, Franco. Mum tells me what to say. I'm a secretary. Yes. Well, you look after your mum, Marshall. And I know that you do, sweetheart. I know that you do. We all have to look after our mums. I haven't got one now, but we all have to look after our mums. And it's funny, you know, like my daughter, Francine, it goes in full circle, doesn't it? You know, the way you're bringing her up and then advising her. Now it's gone in full circle. She's treating me like I'm a son, and she's advising me. Oh, it's crazy. Crazy. Crazy, Mr. Fonte. Mum asked us all to watch it as a family. It was fantastic, Franco. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Marcella. Thank you, sweetheart. I'm glad you're watching it. It's good, honestly. I'll give you the film to watch later because it's a gentle film. I started to watch something before, you know, what's it called? It's brand new. It's called Passenger. So I read the synopsis, put it on, and then something happened. No, not to me, but you see these two fellas, you know, they're driving dark, not light, dark, you know, in the night. And the next, the fella goes out for a pee. This is what I can't get over, you know. Two fellas, and he gets out to have a pee, and he goes like into the woods. It's ridiculous. You know what I mean? But anyway, when he gets back, his mate's gone. All the doors are open, even the boot's open, and then it goes. I just went that click, you know. You know the score then afterwards. So I thought, oh, sod this. Oh, thanks, Steve. The Mayor of Kingstown. It's a cracker. Listen, you want to get the first series of that. You want to get the first series, second series. It's really good. It really is. The Mayor. Thank you, Steve. I will. Thank you. It's only on for just over an hour. It's free on YouTube. That's extraterrestrial. It is. It's good. It really is. What's the second series of Hijack with Idris Elba last week related to it as it's set on an underground train in Berlin? I've travelled on that system. Far better than the Gremlin. He had to say something like that. But he's right, unfortunately. I've never seen. I always thought that the likes of the Russian underground, phenomenal. Until I was streaming China the other day, no, last week, and you want to see their railway system. It's incredible. And we still have to go to Central Station. Patient Zero, that's it. CT, that's it. It's Stanley Tucci. Great actor, him. If you haven't seen The Silence, he's in it. Watch it. It's good. And if you haven't seen, I think it's good anyway. Made it ages ago, but it's called The Core. The Core. And it's about something happening in, you know, the Middle Earth. And it's good. I'd rather not go into like what's happening. So, but they have to go into the core to fix it. It's good. There's a black actor I don't half admire him, and his name is Lindo. Oh, what's his bloody first name? Something Lindo. He's a cracking actor. He really is a good actor. And that reminded me to what he's in a thing called Heist with Gene Hackman. Heist and Danny DeVito. If you haven't seen Heist, watch it. But there's two Heists I recommend to watch. And the other one is with Robert De Niro. Heist. It's brilliant. Two of them are brilliant films. Two of them Heist. They're just called The Heist. Or just Heist. If you can get hold of them, watch them. You can even watch them back to back. They're that good. De Niro and I forget this actor's first name. But anyway, Delroy Lindo, his name is, the black actor, with Gene Hackman. Brilliant. Heist. And Toscana, Stanley Tucci in Italy. Great to watch it. Yeah, I've seen him, watched it. Well, not all of it, but I've watched them. Stanley the Tucci, yeah. I don't know, every time I think of regrets, I think of Edith Piaf. Say, I've got regrets. Has anyone watched the once I watched that. Toscana, I watched that once. And I went to I was in the cinema, I went to see it. Frightened me. That frightened me, that, when it first came out. And that was in the cinema. And I always remember this fella. Easily said, when the videos were coming out, pirates. And he said, hey, Harris, I've got something for you there. He was one of my students. He said, I've got something for you there, yeah. So anyway, I didn't know what it was. And I just put it on. Put the vid on, put it on, see what it was. It was that. Just rejected it. Or ejected it. And never watched it. Never watched it again. Horrible. Horrible film. Brilliant. But horrible. I'm freaking. The fellow who directed it, he said, William Friedkin, that is, he said, it's not a horror film. And I thought, well, what is it then? If it's not a horror film? Frightened me. The wood bastard. Whatever you do, don't type in patient 69. It's not a thriller or stop it, you. Embellishing. I just got it. It's Marcella. Watch it. It was terrifying. I couldn't sleep all that. Well, what are you telling her to watch it for? She made the same. I will not watch that again. See, I'm a former altar boy and things like that, they might come and get me. And the Woodmaster. Great film, Toscana. It's one of my favourite. Oh, yeah, it is. I bet he goes to bed with it, the Woodmaster. And I bet you he goes to bed in his lumberjack gear with a big axe. If you know what I mean. So he's not frightened. The Woodmaster. And Janet. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Good evening, Janet. How's you then, Frank? I'm good. I'm good. Just keep biting my lip, Janet. Franco, it's Marcella says the lovely Bella or the lovely Bella's uh, site. We all get our mum's bed, yeah, and we watch. We all get go away and watch the telly together in popcorn and all. So we'll watch that film tonight, The Patient. Ask your mum or yourself. I'll give you the film to watch, and I think it's a it's a cracking film. It's a little clever film. It's a clever film, and it's called The Family Man with Nicolas Cage. The Family Man. Can't get my teeth done, until after me up next month. Anyway, so watch. So please, Marcella and Bella, watch The Family Man. You might have watched it because I have recommended it before, but it's a cracking little film. It really is. And I think it's a clever film. And we all live by regrets. Well, I do, especially. And to think, just watch it. That's all. Just watch it. Don't look now, says Neil. Donald Sutherland getting over the loss of his child in Italy. Plays on your mat. Yeah, that's a very good point, though. Julie Christie's in it as well, isn't she? I think it's Julie Christie. Yeah, it is. You're right. Don't look now. My son said Parasite. Who watched it? I've seen it. It is good. It is good. Parasite. Don't watch him, Bella. Let them watch you. But watch if you haven't seen it, please watch that film. It's really good. But you know what? I haven't got me water. I have to get me water. I'll watch oh, you love it. Toscana, please watch it. No, watch it, please. No, I said I'll watch it. Not for Toscana to watch it. No way. Watch it. Period. I'm gonna um, I'm gonna go and get me water. Won't be a sec, people. It takes all the time for me to hobble. kill me going there just for that. Kill me, honestly. Horrible. Oh, Johan. Good evening, Brad Pitt. Looking sharp today. Apologies, I'm late. Smash the likes. Legend. What can I say? What can I say? It's like that nurse the other day. She couldn't understand my name. She's a Scouser, wasn't like a foreign nurse or anything like that, which we all adore. But she was a Scouser, couldn't even pronounce my name. And I said to her, I said, if it was Brad Pitt, you'd be able to say it, wouldn't you? All right. She didn't like that. Then she got me back, didn't she? She turns out to be horrible to me. Good evening, Brad Pitt. Hiya, Johan. But Janet says, has anyone heard the film McCartney? No, has anyone heard Paul McCartney new album, Boys of the Dust? You've always asked her. Life can be hard. It's a proper earworm. No, no. But you've asked her a few times, Janet. I watched Janet. I did tell you what I did watch today, where they're on the roof. McCartney was great on the roof. He has a three-piece suit on, open black, open collared shirt, and tan shoes. My style. Three-piece black suit, tan shoes. I said, and a big beard. That was great. And they all enjoyed themselves. They all enjoyed themselves on that roof. Definitely. Disclosure. Now, listen, before I say disclosure, I have to thank my sponsors. I really do. Oh, Bella says, we watched the Family Man when you recommended it. Oh, good. Did you like it, Bella? Oh, Marcella, did you like it? That's the main thing. That's the main thing. Let me know if you enjoyed it. I think you said you did, didn't you? Got Peyton Services, the sponsors of every pod that I do, whether it's football, whether it's this, whether it's tomorrow night, which is all about the current affairs. Now listen, these people are fully time served. Great painters and decorators, really are. First class, fully time served. So they know what they're doing. They're in and out. They're fully insured just in case anything goes wrong. If you're an NHS worker, or if you know anybody who's an NHS worker, even in your house, and you're wanting to decorate, get them in. If you know any elderly who want to, get them in. Please get them in. Because you get a special discount. And if you don't fit into the categories, as I keep saying, just phone them and get a price. Ask them to come down without any obligation whatsoever. That's Gap Painting Services, sponsors. Sponsors of the Frank Carlyle Show. And every other one as well. And Janet says, wasn't that in Soho, London, where there's a new Beatles museum opening next year? I don't know. And it was in top of Abbey Road, the roof, Abbey Road Studios. Whether it's in Soho, I don't know. And Janet said, Gap, I'll promise you I'll get hold of Andy. He might be away, you know. Might be away. I'll get hold of Andy, the boss. And as the Italians say, the capo di tutti capi, the boss of all the bosses. He is. The lads who sponsors this. My pods. I'll have to bring this over. Fucking kill me. Yeah, I watched the. I didn't watch it. I'm being okay. Look, listen to me. I watched a part of Disclosure, and to me, I like Spielberg, and remember when I mentioned about him that all his films, most of his films that he does, he directs, he's had experience in reality, in real time. Like Jaws, for example, sharks and UFOs and things. So I followed him. He's done fantastic films, really. And this one, the opening scenes were not like his. Colin Firth, great actor. Great actor. Emily Blunt, lovely actress. But the chemistry wasn't there between like the couples, in my opinion. You've got to have chemistry. And the chemistry wasn't there. And I got up to the part where you see Emily Blunt, you know, she's on the telly and doing all that, you know, about the weather. Look at her. And then you see her in her home with her fella. And she's doing, I don't know what she's fucking doing. So I was looking at her. And then he pulls a guitar out and she said, oh, we're leaving now. We're going to go somewhere else because they keep leaving. You know, that's what the impression I got. Leaving their homes. And because he said again. And I just went, click. I couldn't watch it anymore. So I can't even give you an overall thing about it. And I've heard some reviews on it, and people are actually saying it's the worst Spielberg film that's been made. And it's all talk. I'd appreciate that, Frank. Oh, getting older. Yeah, I will, honestly. Jason will, by the way. And Bella says, Franco, we loved it. Thank you. That's The Family Man. If you haven't seen it, please watch it. It's a very good film. I like clever films, you see. I think the cleverest film is you've all seen it, but it was that Sixth Sense. That was I normally I don't like Bruce Springsteen, and I normally don't like the man for some reason, but he was great in that. Bruce Willis, he was great in it. I've seen him in a couple of films, that he's been good in. One where I don't know the name of it, where he plays a cop and these young fellas, go to screw this house, and then he held them hostages, the family, the young lads. And that was good, like hostage taking. Not ostrich taken, hostage. 18. Must be me too. But as I say, I tell you, a series to watch, and I've recommended this, and no one's ever said to me, "Oh, I've watched that, it's brilliant." I think one did. And it's absolutely brilliant. And it's only a short series, which I like, by the way. I don't like second series, and third and fourth. I don't watch any of them because it's the same. It just carries on the same. It was like Tulsa with Sly Stallone in. The first two series were sublime. But the third series, I just didn't bother to watch it. Because it was the same. It was like the first series rewritten, but on a different theme. So that's why I don't watch series like that. But the series to watch, if you haven't seen it, it's a David... no, it's not. I'm trying to think who's in it. It's... what's his name? Jason Bateman. Jason Bateman's in it. Stephen King, from a Stephen King story. And it's called The Outsider. The Outsider. It's brilliant. It's one of the best I've seen. It really is. The Outsider, Jason Bateman. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's only one series. One series. And it's only, I think it's 8 or 10 episodes. I watched it back to back, actually, one day. Watched it back to back. And another series, again, a short series, but a second series then came on, and I didn't want to know that. I think that, the way the Americans are, it's great, that. And I tell you what, let's make another one. So I didn't watch it. And it's Bryan Cranston. He's a great actor, him. And it's called Your Honey. Your Honey. And he's a judge. He's a judge in it. But watch it if you haven't seen it. You're on it. Brilliant. That and The Outsider. 2 highly recommended TV series. Short series as well. Excuse me. And Bella says, The Prestige is a good film, or Shutter Island. Seen both. DiCaprio is in a Shutter Island. Brilliant. A psychological thriller where he plays a US Marshal investigating a psychiatric facility on a remote island, hence Shutter Island. It's good. Good film. Good shout there, Marcella and Bella. It really is a good shout. Freaking hell, this thing. I'm looking at something there. See, I've got my mouse on my lap, so I don't have to move over. Because my back kills me. And the Vader. Oh, I missed you last night, mate. It was great last night. Hiya, Frank and Chap Frank. Is Disclosure Day a sequel to Close Encounters of a Third Kind? Sorry about the caps, mate. Don't worries. No worries. It's only as the show goes on, you know, it gets me difficult because of my cataracts. Everything's wrong with me, isn't it? Cataracts. And jeez. I haven't watched it all, but I guessed that. I only watched some of it, which I explained before. Vader. I only watched some of it. And Janet says, off subject, Frank. You mean you're digressing? Can I say how proud I am of my little sister who has been elected to the chair at St. Rocco's Hospital? That's brilliant. Warrington, voluntary. Congratulations, Dr. Kelly. Yes. That's wonderful. Anyone. It's like Johan. Johan went over to India to teach on a voluntary basis. When you think about that, I know a girl, she only comes from my area, and she goes to India every year to Zanimak, and she helps the poor of India. She's a beautiful soul. Her and her husband, they both go over and help the poor. It's like anyone who helps anybody. I try to put things back into the community, to be honest. You know, throughout the years, that is. I always remember giving a talk at this club. And it was chock-a-block. So I gave this talk one evening. And he said, yeah, there's your fee. And there was a priest there, right at the back. So I walked up, you know, I was going out, and I went, have you been listening to that? And he said, yes. I said, did you enjoy it? He said, yes. And I gave him my fee. I said, well, yeah. Put that in your box. And he's surprised. I try to do that, not all the time, obviously. I had to have expenses. And I haven't watched it yet, Frank. sounds like it's a follow-up. Yes. I just said before, Vaser, about Spielberg, everything that he does, he's experienced. And I mentioned Close Encounters as well. Yeah, Bella. Oh, thanks, Bella. Bella's the only one who watches things. Franco, watch The Outsider when you recommended it. It was fantastic. Please watch it if you haven't seen it, people. The Outsider, Jason Bateman, and another fella by Ben Mendelsohn. Ben Mendelsohn is the detective. Brilliant. Great cast. Well acted. I like Bateman. And Janet says, my sister used to recruit for Red Jail in India. Go away. That's lovely, that. Really is. I'm going to have a drink of my water again. I get flavoured water, you know. And, you know, to take me tablets and things like that. And just watch the telly with it, you know. Only flavours, you know, sugar-free and all that nonsense. And I haven't got any left. And I haven't had any for a couple of days until I go shopping on Saturday. So I'll get me colours there. I'll get me flavoured water then. Big bottles. Dead heavy though. Dead heavy. And our Francine says, Dad, you always are. Don't even like asking her anymore to get me them. She moans. They're dead heavy, Dad. That's why I haven't got any. But I'll try and carry them. I'll try. Shouldn't lift anything like that. No me. Yes, so, you know, another film that I highly recommend, you know, the series are great. The Outsider and You're On It. Really super duper series. And watch them. Great acting as well. Great stars, you know. The likes of Bryan Cranston in You're On It. Fantastic. And there's a fella named Mike, I can't pronounce his name, Michael Studel or someone like that. Stuberg. And I'll tell you what he was in. He was in The Arrival with Amy Smart and Jeremy Renner. Great film that as well. The Arrival. About a spacecraft all around the world. Really good film. Bit confusing as well, to be honest. But he was in that, Michael Stuberg or something like that. His name is. Well, he's in it, and he's a mafia boss in You're On It. If anyone hasn't seen it, and the way to say, I'll watch. At the moment, I'll watch it. At the moment, I'm watching Cape Fear, the series I like most things Scorsese has done, especially with De Niro. Well, with De Niro, that was brilliant. That was absolutely brilliant. Cape Fear. With De Niro. Nick Nolte's in it as well, isn't he? Nick Nolte. Have you seen a clip of Nick? Oh. Yeah, I've watched that again, but I wouldn't watch a series. Scorsese's great, don't get me wrong. I was disappointed in The Irishman, though. The Irishman, the series, didn't like it much. Stephen Graham was in it. Anyway, Janet says, little dew flavoured sparkling water. I can't drink sparkling. No, I just get it out of Sainsbury's. And I only like strawberry. I can't drink any other. And Bluey. Hello, Bluey. Bryan Cranston. Brilliant. Malcolm in the Middle. Yes. Good shout. Good shout, that Bluey. I like Morrison's apple and raspberry water. Do you remember when we were younger? We used to go for sausages, down to the butchers, there's sausages. Either beef or pork. Brought them out. Now you're going, and I got some. I went to, the last time I went shopping was with Francine up to Marxie's. And she said, don't you want sausage? I said, yeah. And there was loads of types. So I said, I think I'll try that. And it was apple and pork. I highly recommend it. I loved them. Apple and pork. I ate a lot, And Janet says, The Irishman, anyone? I didn't like it, unfortunately. It should have been. Done years or with younger actors. And I know Scorsese's worked with them for yonks. He's always worked with them. Point is, he wanted to break. It didn't work for me. And I love, there's no one better than De Niro, Pacino, is there? And Joe Pesci. And the Bruce says, The Departed is a masterpiece. There's two Departed, What ones you want? What one is that? Is that the one with it's DiCaprio in that? Bluey. Bluey says hello. And no one says hello back to him. They will. And the Vader said, yeah, Nick Nolte, Juliette Lewis, Jessica Lange, and Joe Don Baker. He's recently died, hasn't he, Joe Don? Joe John Baker. A man set in his ways, Frank. And hello, Frank. How are you? How's things? Wackass from Greater Manchester says to Liverpool forever. Are you Wackass? How are you? Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. Haven't seen you for a long time. And Bluey says, yeah, people have stolen Dungeon Lane sign already. I was invited up to the Everton, the little lock-up thing in Everton. And, it's for the unveiling of the plaque. Which goes on the Everton crest. And that was gone that night. I was also invited along to the unveiling of Little Italy. And I was on my way to a lecture, and they just said to me, will you give a little quick talk? I said, yeah, okay. I gave a little quick talk and got off. I always forget this lady's name. Nuncia, I think her name was. She was the Italian consul. And anyway, she unveiled it. Lovely lady. And when she unveiled it, I got off. Just to talk about Little Italy here in Liverpool. And that went that night. Stolen. I think it's these Manchester people coming down, I'm only joking, Johan. I'm only joking. Wackass. But you're right, Bluey, they do go. Signs. You've only got to go up to a case history in Hope Street. And all the little signs, especially Lennon, McCartney, Ringo and George, their little tabs went. And the Vader says, Frank, have you seen the 1962 version of Cape Fear with Gregory Peck? Yes. Black and white. Black and white. Was Robert Mitchum the villain in it? And Gregory the Peck. Well, Gregory the Peck, he's never a baddie, is he? Told you about our kids, didn't I? Our Stevie. Giving them a lift. Up to the National and waiting for them. And, picking them up at the Adelphi, bringing them up there, then waiting for, went back for them, pick them up, brought them back to the Adelphi. And our kids said, you'll have to go. And he said, what you'll have to do, he says, you can't just sit in there if you're getting a flight back home from Manchester. He said, don't forget, it's National Day, and you mightn't get a cab unless someone will be good enough to give you the lift. Our kids didn't know who he was. And he said, well, you rang gone for me then? He said, yeah. He said, I'll have to go back around, so if you come out and I'm not here, he said, don't worry, because I have to go around the block. I can't just stay here. He said, okay. And he says, came, picked him up, brought him up to Manchester Airport, dropped him off, and he paid all the fares. He said, how much is the fares? And he said, X amount. And he said, yeah, and that's for you. And you're going back to 62, I think. Is that a 61, 62 or 63? And he gave him 300 quid. Chip. Could have bought a house for that then. A little 2 down, 2 up terrace. Good deposit. And to be honest, he's a bit too long, The Irishman. Should have been a series. DiCaprio and Damon Lewis is there. One of my favourite actors, if you mean, Damon Lewis. Scouser, Damon. Louis, you know, he's married to Ellen McCory. Lovely actress, lovely girl, died. And he was devastated. She was only 52. Lovely actress. Lovely woman. On all accounts. And Bella. Frank, the movie, The Gentleman, stroke, political. Is that non-political? The Gentleman. I've seen an old black and white one, and that was something similar about. Oh, Jack Nicholson. I'll get back to you there, Bella. The League of Gentlemen. That was a cracking film, little black and white thing. With Jack Hawkins and all the stalwart English actors. Great film. Great film. All ex-army fellas. And they go to rob a bank. Brilliant. If you mean that. Jack Nicholson, that's not Damon, is it? Oh, come on, Janet. She keeps going on about McCartney and anyway. I went into labour with my second son after staying up watching Damien. He's 44 years of age now. Yeah, that was the trilogy of The Omen, wasn't it? Has anyone seen Macca's clip of Who Stole the Sign? Is that Strawberry Fields? Don't know. I haven't seen it. And Poet said Robert Mitchum was the bad guy in the original Cape Fear. Yeah, he asked I forget who put it up. Was it Bluey? Not quite so sure now. Yeah, Robert the Mitch. I asked if he was the villain in it. I was watching something with Gregory the Peck only the other night. It wasn't a film or anything, but he was naming his 5, best actors. He was one of them. Robert Mitchum. He said he was a great fella. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. It was Robert Mitchum giving an interview, and he named Gregory the Peck as a great fella. I like things like that. But I don't like things where I've got to take a water again. Blimey, choking. Excuse me. Yeah, I like things like that. I don't like hearing nasty things about people, I really don't. but you find out nasty things, and it's bad. It puts me off people, and I won't watch the films or anything then. Certain things. Oh, he walks away with the sign under it. Is that McCartney? Yeah. And the poet says, yeah, he was. He was. He was. And so was Lee Marvin. So was Charlie Bronson. You see, I find out things about Steve McQueen, and he was horrible in real life. To his ladies. Horrible. And that, what's her name? The one in Love Story. She's 80 now, and she's come out with a load of horrible stuff about him. Well, it was her fault because she just left her husband when he clicked his fingers. He made the getaway. But she lived a life of horror. He wouldn't let her do any films or anything, just controlled her. She couldn't move. Serves her rent. Serves her right. Margie Clark herself, Letter to Brezhnev, brilliant, Bella. I know Margie. And Alexandra Pig. Never heard of her, do you? Alexandra Pig, fine actress. And Margie, smashing. Little Margie. And the way that, yeah, spot on about Robert Mitchum, absolutely. Could you imagine in a theatre, and you hear a voice saying, I'm not going to ask you again. You better show me the proper way to get to it. And there was a fella who was a plumber who had to fix something, water or something. He said, you keep sending me in the wrong place. You better tell me now, where is it? Could you imagine that voice? And it was Lee Marvin. Just the voice of Lee Marvin. Because he was working, he's trying. And the director said, what's that voice there? Get that fella who's shouting that, And they all thought the director was going to shout at him and sack him. Just sack him. He was there. He wasn't an actor or anything like that. He wasn't in the cast. He was just there trying to fix some plumbing thing that he was sent to do. And that's how he started. He actually put him in that play. But he was doing whatever the play was. But his voice. You better tell me. Got wounded in the war, Second World War. Wounded, and he was in the Marines. So he felt pain, And Bluey said, Janet, I meant Matt Damon. Not the old. funny, you know, you mentioned that Matt Damon. I always get mixed up with him and Mark Wahlberg. If you were doing a film about brothers, get them to play together, not half alike. Not half alike. Excuse me. I think it's Nuncio Bertelli. That's it. Bertelli, you're right. Former head of the Italian consulate in Liverpool. That's right. Nuncio Bertelli. Lovely lady. She unveiled it and bang it went that night. I know who got it, to be honest. Wasn't me. But I don't like things like that. And the sign isn't there. That's right, Damian Lewis, Band of Brothers, brilliant. Brilliant. There's a film, if you like Damien, there's a new film out. You'll be able to get it, and it's called Fuck 'em All. Fuck 'em. Fuck 'em all. It's the house of this big estate, you know. Rambling estate. Fuck 'em all. So you can imagine what that's like, can't you? Damian Lewis. Oh, stop it, Daddy. You know, that type of film. Fuck 'em all. Think about the title. I'll have to spell it, won't I? Because you might think that it's spelled Fackham, F-A-C-K-A-M, Fackham Hall, H-A-L-L, Fackham Hall. Thanks, Bluey. DiCaprio, Matt Damon, Jack Nicholson, The Departed. Yes, great film. Thank you, Bluey, for setting that up. It was jealous again. No. Dungeon Lane sign, funny. That's unbelievable, this. And Bella's to Blue. Panzer Brothers, fantastic, you're right. I had to read that. I knew what she meant, band. I knew what she meant. Panzer Brothers, fantastic, yeah. Panzer Brothers sounded better now, to be honest. And Blue to I'm on it. It's hard to keep up. It's hard to keep up sometimes, isn't it? Bloody try sitting there. I'm me trying to keep up. Paint Your Wagon, Frank. Yeah, great film. I think it's the only time that Lee Marvin sang a song, Wandering Star. But Paint Your Wagon, yeah. But it's well dated now. Johan. Frank, I think it was either Paulie or Phil who mentioned Dead Man's Shoes with Paddy Constantine. I like Paddy Constantine. I think he's a great actor. And he's only from around here, isn't he? You know, the northwest, Paddy. I think so, anyway. I know he's from the north. Like. Dead Man's Shoes. Have I seen that? Films in the State Belly. I always liked John Garfield, says the poet. He committed suicide and took his own life. John Garfield. He was in the original Postman. Oh, yeah. And you'll always, his co-star was Lana Turner. She killed her fella there. Johnny Stompanato. He was in the mafia. And I reckon she killed him and blamed her daughter, 14-year-old daughter. She said it was self-defense. I think it was Lana. Right, so he said, I always liked John Garfield. He was in the original Postman Always Rings Twice, a great boxing movie called Body and Soul. His career ended when he got blacklisted for being a commie. That's when he took his own life. John Garfield, great actor, as you said. Poet. And Bluey. I was born under the park and stuff. That's the way you blues sing. I was born under the park and stand. That's the way you sing. Can't sing it now, can you? Can't sing it now, Bluey, lads, but you're moving. I passed there last week on the way to the Aussie. Goodison, that is. But I didn't pass it directly, but I passed up County Road. County Road. People are wondering, aren't they, whether the shops are, I don't know. Garfield refused, says the poet, refused to name names when questioned by the House of Un-American Activities. I tell you who gave a lot away. And I was looking at him giving an interview. And I was a lot younger then. And I was saying, well, if you give your colleagues away for not being, for being, how shall I say, a socialist. All is on you. And he started crying. But it was too late then. I'll tell you who it was in a moment. And I thought, you prat. You prat. Because there was great directors, writers, actors who were, even Charlie the Chaplin. He was thrown out, wasn't he? Excuse me, people. He was thrown out of America. And he went to live in, but I didn't like Charlie Chaplin as a human being, what he used to get up to. Not as not an activist or anything like that. His private life. I'm not going to go into detail about it. But he was giving them all away. And that was Sterling Hayden. If you don't know who Sterling Hayden was, he was the fella in The Godfather, the police captain, who Al Pacino shot in the throat in the cafe. Him and Salozzo. That was Sterling Hayden. He used to spend late nights in the state. I had a few. Funny enough, I went in the state, it was close down, like, about 8 years ago. The doors were open. It was like shut, you know what I mean? People were in there. And when I went there, I had a look at the interior, absolutely stunning. And when I went in, you know, because you're out, aren't you, nights out and having a drink and I was in, you know, I love architecture. And I had a proper look around. Incredible. Architecture inside. The ceiling was absolutely stunning. Columns inside the building. Beautiful. Never ever copped off in there though. Thanks, Janet. I can't stand Ryan O'Neill, neither can I. Won't watch anything he was in. I had to watch Love Story as it was at a friend's house. Hated every minute. Was made to watch The Sound of Music. Yuck. She's still your friend. Bring her around to watch The Exorcist. Be all right. Get your own backs, as they say. Yeah, Ryan O'Neill was a twat. I'm sorry to say that. But he was. Like that Steve McQueen. Horrible. And yet he always played. I remember him in I'm talking about Ryan O'Neill, and he was in a cracking film it was called The Driver. And he was a detective in it. And he's after this drive. He's only a young fella. It's a cracking film. But this is before you get to know these fellas and what they're like in real life. I was listening to the Gregory the Peck talking about his, talking about his favourite people. And one of them was, I just shook my head, was Cary Grant. Cary Grant to me was a coward in a big way. But he also named David Niven as a great fella. Fucking hell. Not half uncomfortable. David Niven. And yet, like David Niven, when war broke out, Second World War, David Niven, who was an officer, I think he was in a Scottish regiment, forget now, before he became an actor. Anyway, he went back to rejoin the army. Him and another actor by the name of Ronald Coleman. And he said to the Grant fella, "Do you fancy going back, Archie?" And he said, "No." He said, I'm taking out American citizenship because America was neutral then. So why did he take out American citizenship? Because he just didn't want to go to war. He didn't want to come back. And he never ever came back, did he? You know, for the wartime. He was a coward. He was a coward. But, you know, you can't take anything away from Cary Grant. He was very dapper, wasn't he? Very suave. But, come on. Damon and Wahlberg are both from Boston. Must be something in the water. I like Wahlberg, you know. He's in a film, and I've mentioned, told people to watch it, and they're a bit like it's 50-50, if you know what I mean. And I'd love someone to watch it so I can discuss it. Because there's a story behind the story. And it's the happening. The happening with Zooey Chanel. She's a nice Zooey. And Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg's a teacher. Science teacher. It's good. I think so anyway. M. Night Shyamalan. I like M. Night Shyamalan. And the poet says, Robert Mitchum actually knocked out the heavyweight champion of the US Marine Corps in a bar fight in Colorado. Did he? No, Doddy. Do you ever remember saying that? Every time someone said, did he? You know, no, Doddy. I stopped saying, did he? Yeah. But he went into the ring, didn't he, with I forget it. I'll tell you, it wasn't a well-known fella. It was at a fair. It was at a fair. And this fella was just knocking everyone out, you know. But he was he worked for the fair, if you know what I mean. And anyway, his mate said to Mitch, I get in there and have a go, Bob. And he went, yeah, all right. So anyway, the lads, you know, the boxer, doing that, you know, he wasn't laying anything on him. And Robert just started to throw, you know, a few digs. And the fella just went bump in the side of the ribs. Bob just went down. But he spoke about that. I always remember, I never liked Michael Parkinson. I thought he was a smarmy. I just didn't like him at all. And anyway, he had Bob Mitchum. I'll never forget this. And he was just talking about like his films and, you know, Parkinson. He never once mentioned his family or anything. It's going on. And he said, do people bother you? You know, when they come up to you? He said, yup. That's all he says is yup. He said, how? Can you give us an example? He went, yup. He said, I was having something to eat. He said, and this big guy came over and said, Bob, can I have your autograph? And he went, nope. And then he said he was persistent. So I just grabbed him by the tie, pulled him down, and stuck my fork right up here. He said that stopped him from asking. And Parkinson said, really? Did you? Did anything happen? Police called? And he went, nope. He said, are you joking? And he went, yup. You could tell that Parkinson was getting on his nerves, you see. And I always remember another time with Oliver Reed. And Oliver Reed, you know, he sat down. Oliver had a few bevies, you know, you could tell. So he was sitting down, and all his Parkinson was going on about was Oliver Reed's co-stars. And he mentioned Mitchum. And he kept going on about Mitchum, mentioned loads, you know, even girls. And Oliver Reed is just saying, yeah, you know, nice lady or nice fella. And he just looked at him and he went, is this about? And he mentioned the names that he was mentioning. You know, Parkinson, the actors who Oliver Reed's worked with. He said, because I thought that you'd invite me on the show, you'd be talking about me. And he just got up and walked out. Live show it was. BBC. Wasn't invited back. And the Bluey says, yeah, didn't know he was a Scouser, Damian Lewis, yeah. Scouser, mate. Janet, I don't want any swearing. We don't swear on here. It's fucking. But it's not, it hasn't got a H in it. It's got a K. And an EM. I think it's an EM or fuck them anyway. Fuck it, as they say, Janet. You're welcome. Kung Fu. I do not know. Do you ever remember it? That was a great series, though. It was a series that got away from every other bloody series. Crap things that was on. It changed the dynamics of television to the old Kung Fu Dad and Hill Street Blues. Hill Street Blues. So I enjoyed both there, Bluey lads. Kung Fu. Quite Chan Kane. Quite Chan Kane. I don't know. I do not know. And the Vader series, Wahlberg was in The Departed as well. Did you know that he's been to jail, him? Mark Wahlberg, but a nice fella. Nice fella. I think he murdered 8 people. But, you know, he's a decent serial killer. And that's where he learns his acting. In Nick. Kung Fu Panda Brothers. I like that, Panda Brothers. That's for Janet. Was it? No, it wasn't. It was Bella, wasn't it? Oh, yeah, I like that. Panda Brothers. You're spot on, Bluey. Oh. And the poet says, "On Kung Fu is more my era. I'll behave." I do not know. I think, Kung Fu, Robert Carradine. No, it wasn't Robert, was it? He's just died him. Took his own life, unfortunately. David Carradine. Well, his name is Carradini. He's Italian, believe it or not. It stems from Italian. His dad, who was an actor, an old actor. Anyway, he always said he was always asked, like, who was it? And he always said, I do not know. Just like that. Do you like the impersonation then? I do not know. Derby or Nottingham? I don't know what you mean by that, mate. Derby or Nottingham? Say I lose you, we're doing this, and I lose the thread. I was born under a wandering star, says Janet. Very good. Bella says, Johan, I mean a band of brothers. Trying to correct herself. Band of brothers. Janet said, that's it, really. Fuck it. And Johan to Bella, we already have a title. We just need to write the script. Do you know what, Johan? I mentioned this before as well to Toscana when I messaged Toscana about the tiny hats. And when I was talking to you, do you know when I said I make myself a nice cup of chocolate, then going to bed? That's why I fell asleep, mate. And I woke up at 2:05. And I went to bed. Went to bed. The chocolate was cold, but I drank it. And it was lovely, 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 doubly. Yes, I could still be born there. Oh, do you mean, yeah, under the stand? Well, yeah, right, Johan. Are you under Broad Green, Frank? No, I'm under, there's an offshoot of exactly, okay, now. There's an offshoot of up in Aintree Hospital for exactly, whatever one you call. Now it's called the Walton thing. It's nowhere near Bolton. But anyway, that's where I am, and that's where I'm going to have me up, and that's where I'm going to stay after me up. For God knows how long. And Janet, my most prevalent memory was seeing Deaf School performing there, the state, and graffitied joint toilets. and of course the architecture. Yes. Only went there a couple of times, to be honest, Janet. Went there the first time, tried to cop off. No one would have me. Then I went the second time, tried to cop off. No one would have me. So I got off. Never went back. Mind you, all the girls look like fellas in Toscana. Friends of the family was in the Theory of Everything with Eddie Redmayne. He was in one of the Bridget Jones films as well. Go away. I've been in a couple of films. I've been in loads of documentaries. You try finding them. I was in a film with David McCallum, Anne Hayward, Peter Cushing, John Slater, Stanley Baker. How about conjuring up them? Me in a film with them. That Anne Hayward was stunning in real life. Hello. Steve Mulholland. The real bin zippers are supporting England. Yes. I was saying that. Who was it talking to? I was talking to Phil. Phil mentioned about Anthony Gordon, not getting mentioned, and he came on and gave 2 assists to a crap England. And I said, Phil, I'm not interested, mate. I said, from a little boy who sat on his granddad's knee, he was Italian, only spoke Italian. And he supported the Azzurri, Italy. I said, so I just support them ever since. I said, I've spoken to Scousers. And they've asked, why don't you support England? It's your national team, country national. And I've explained. I said, there's people all around the world that support Liverpool. Everton, Norwegians support Everton. There's Norwegians who support Arsenal. There's Americans who support Liverpool. There's everywhere, all around the world. And I know that in America that there'll be people supporting Colombia and all the South American teams, Brazil, and even if they don't come from Brazil. I said, so I was talking, as I said to this fella, I said, so support the Azzurri. He said, but it's your national. It wasn't this World Cup thing. I said, why? I said, why should I stand next to an England supporter who shouts about Scousers, even supporting England? And it was proved the other night when they were shouting the 8 Scousers. What the fuck did Liverpool have to do with them? And I said, so I wouldn't stand next to an England supporter who at their ground would call the Scousers for everything. Bin zippers, thieves, everything, you name it, they'll say, and we live in slums. The filthy fucking people. This is what we get called, thieves. And me standing next to them fucking supporting the fucking establishment that I've been fighting since 1989. Wanting to support them. Fuck off. Because it's not just Liverpool supporters they're getting our Everton supporters as well. I know a few Blues who say fuck them off and fuck the sun off. But you get others, unfortunately, who, no, I don't support fucking England. It's the establishment. It's the establishment. And look what they're up to. That's why I don't give a fuck about the World Cup. Not because England's are in it. It's because who's hosting it. And I don't support the Reds fucking going over in pre-season to America. What are they complicit in? Their fucking country. That's why. You might think I'm fucking harsh, but I'm not. It's me. You can support whoever you want. But you're not asking me to say, oh, you're English, you know, you've got to fuck off. I haven't got to support any fucking one. And put a cushion under your bum and behind your back. I haven't got any. I haven't got any cushions. I used to have, but they were cumbersome and things. So I threw them out, actually. They were good ones. They were good ones. Wasn't Cary Grant into psycho? Yes. Psychoanalysis. Psychoanalyst, yeah. He was. I think he was not going to... You know that he was gay, don't you? And he had a friend, a good friend who was a psychoanalyst. And on LSD and all that malarkey. I think they were all in it, to be honest. We were all having a go at that, except Bogey, Gregory the Peck, and David the Niven, Ronald Coleman, Aubrey C. Smith. Toscana says to the poet, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, no, hang on. Yes, he was apparently made life hell for the mother of his daughter, Diane Cannon, because of his drug taking. That's Cary the Grant. And Johan says M. Night Shyamalan directed it. I saw it when I was a kid. I think it came out in 2008. Yeah, the happening. It's great to talk about, actually, if anyone sees it, but no one sees it, and I can't discuss anything. It's like The Family Man. There's Bella saying I watched it. It was fantastic. And she also watched The Outsider. I'd love to discuss, though. See, the film night is about discussing films that we've seen. If you know but I mean. Janet says, Doddy has an open-air theatre dedicated to him at Shakespeare North. Beautiful space. Has anyone visited it? No. I'm going to tell you something. I think I've mentioned this before, but up at the Good Saints and I was outside talking to someone. I was talking to Tom Murphy, you know, the sculptor fella. He still owes me a statue of Lennon, John Lennon, because I got him a commission, and he said, "I'll get him." I haven't fucking seen him, have I? Prick. He said, "I'll give you that, Frank." Oh, great. I said, "Brilliant, John Lennon." You know, if you've been to Lennon Airport and you see Lennon, big tall statue, he did that, where you see him walking with his hands in his pockets. Well, he's got ones about that big. I said, give us one of them. And he went, okay, it's yours. Never had one on him. It was inside pockets or anything. I said, well, never ever got it. Nothing. Old Tom Murphy. But anyway, I was outside with him. And Ken came up, got dropped off in his car. And he gave me the greatest compliments, you know, before then anyway. And I was absolutely delighted with it, what he said about me. And anyway, what he said to me, I don't mean that compliment, but this was a while back. And he came up to me. This isn't a compliment, by the way. And he said to me, Frank, I said, well, he said, how would you, and if anyone ever bumps into Tom Murphy, I mentioned this to Anthony Brown, actually, because Anthony knows Tom as well. And he said, Frank, he said, I'm doing a show. He said, and I want you in it. I said, what do you mean, me in it? He said, I want you to tell stories. I said, okay, yeah. Really? Me? He said, yeah. I said, okay. I said, I'll do that. So, Ken, no problem. He said, but I tell the jokes. I said, okay. Because I do a humorous one, you know. Believe it or not. Talk, that is. And that's what he was. And so, you know, to be us, it never came about, unfortunately. Because all of a sudden he just take a nil. That's by the by. And but it was a great. If I'd have been on my own, I would never have said anything like that, because who'd believe it? Yet Tom Murphy was there. And Tom said to me, hey, will you do that? I said, yeah, absolutely. Ken's on stage with it. I said, all he'd be doing is just going off stage with a drink of water or something, and I'll just get something about the history of Liverpool. Don't forget, on Monday, I'm doing the history of Liverpool. This Monday coming. Monday night. From the origins. And Blair said, oh yeah, Parky didn't speak highly of you, Frank, either. He wouldn't, was he? He's a smarmy, get him. Who did he say he used to get taken for? And you're not going to believe it. He said, me and Mary, you know, his wife, and he was fucking dead serious. He said, people say that Mary's like Julie Andrews. And I'm like, who was it? Julie Andrews and Steve McQueen. And I thought, oh, fuck off. Fuck me. You're Steve McQueen, mate, and Brad Pitt. But Brad wasn't going there when he came out and said that. But I thought, fuck off. Toscana, I fell asleep at the cinema watching Fantasy Beasts. Woke up very refreshed. I always remember, I'm going back years ago, people. And this is how old I am. And I coughed this girl. I said, do you fancy going to Picks? Because that's what it was like in those days. Do you fancy going to Picks? And it's the fellas who always paid, by the way. She went, yeah, all right. I said, what do you want to go and see? And she said, I'm dying to see West Side Story. I said, okay. I hadn't a fucking clue what West Side Story was about, so we went to Odeon, got in, and I didn't realise that it was going to be a take on. Anyway, I'm sitting there, and then they start fucking dancing and singing. I didn't like musicals. So I'm sitting there, and I go, this is fucking awful, this. And I said to her, do you fancy an ice cream? She went, love one. I said, do you want a tub or a choc ice or a lolly ice? And she said, I'll have a tub. So I said, okay. West Side Story. And I think she's still waiting. I just went out. Never forgive myself for that. I should have said, I was selling her Steve. He said, why didn't you tell the girl? He said, yeah, come on, let's go and go for a drink or something. And left her sitting there. He had murder with me. I went, oh, okay. I've done a Cary Grant. Coward. Toscana. Where is she? Where did it go? I fell asleep at the cinema watching fantastic. Oh, I said that, haven't I? I don't know where I am. I'll have to go right down, you know, people. I'm awfully sorry. What's that? I love Parky's story when he partnered Norman Hunter in a golf match. One of the opponents was Sean Connery. Hardman Hunter was nervous. Parky asked him why. Hunter said, that's James Bond. No, he was a hard man anyway. Sean Connery. Him and his brother Neil. Two hard fellas from Edinburgh. But you didn't know that, did you? And he'd been in trouble with the police. Sean Connery. He was a hard lad. Norman Hunter. Great fella, then. Loved the Scousers. Norman and Hunt. I bought a bonsai tree, says Janet, and it's losing a lot of leaves. Janet, that's losing. Losing has only got one O, sweetheart. I always think of the Karate Kid when I'm looking after my bonsai. I'm not going to even ask. I used to have a bonsai, but it was 12 foot tall. And our kids said, that's not a fucking bonsai, that's a tree. I said, I know it is. Well, Neuro, you're in the best hands, Frank, says Bluey. Thank you, Bluey. Thank you. That's where I'm on next month. Fucking hell, I've got this itchy back thing, you know. Stephen Coughlin. Good evening, Frank and fellow Reds. Hope you're all well. No footy tonight, stay, mate. And Toscana, Janet Parker was my favourite interview. Better than any American. Is. I'm a straight female, but I love the vibes in the state. I mean, it wasn't a place to cop off, says Janet. Janet, I was only joking, you know. Honest, I was only joking about trying to cop off, and I never went back. But I only ever went twice. Wasn't our scene. What a way to spoil a good chat, says, but I know what you mean. No worries there, Bluey lads. And Stephen says, the World Cup has been a farce, so I'm Scouse, not English, when it comes to England football team who hates anti-Scouse, especially those pathetic England fans. Absolutely. Absolutely. Spot on. I've said that before, though, to be honest. Said that before. Stay. Buonanotte Franco a tutti, grazie per un bellissimo spettacolo. Good night, all, and lovely family, says the beautiful Bella and Marcella. They're going to watch the film now. They're going to watch a film because they do like actually watch films that I recommend. Try and watch The Heist. Oh, they've gone now. The Heist, either Heist with De Niro or the other one with Gene Hackman. And Bluey says, Janet, yeah, it was an iconic place. You spin me right. Yes, remember that song? And Toscana says, I can't ever forgive England fans for their anti-Liverpool chants. Sorry, but I think they are thick. They've got a German as a manager and sing anti-German songs. I don't get it. I don't get me started. God save the king. Don't get me started on God save the king. I always remember it was in the Futurist. I must have been about 16, 17. Tell you what I watched. Zulu. And I was watching it, and then God Save the Queen came up. I was sitting there, me and my mate, and this fella tapped us. He was on the back of us. He said, "Stand up. The national anthem's playing." How old was I? Must have been about 15 or 16. In the Futurist, Lime Street. And I said, "Well, you're standing there." I said, "You can stand for the two of us." No way I'm standing up. And I was that age at that time. No monarchist. Remember when I had to show Charles around St. George's Hall? Fuck. I will support anyone but England, as the fans make a show of the country every time there's a tournament, unlike the World Cup. Do you know, like the Scottish tribe, they come out with the bagpipes and they're brilliant. They have a good time. And all others as well. And how lucky was Belgium? How lucky were Belgium? How they were battered. Buonanotte bella. That's why I hate international breaks during the season. It boils it does. And Frank, Mr. Brown responded, he's occupied with the exhibition. He'll have loads of free time after the 29th of August. I'll be an Aussie. Most probably I'll be an Aussie. I better tell him what's happening to me. But any time, like, he knows to score if he wants to come on. Bluey. Had to be tongue in cheek. And Bluey said, "I'll be hey Frank, I've got socks older than you." And Toscana. I watched West Side Story to see what all the fuss was about. What a waste of money. When I seen them, dancing, and, I thought it was about, like years later, the gangs in New York. I don't know whether anyone will believe this, but the gangs in New York was based on two gangs in Liverpool. And they were the Peanut Gang and the High Rip Gang. And the High Rip Gang came from Scotland Road. And the Peanut Gang came from Park Road. And they were notorious. They really were, horrible. Both sets of gangs. Not just the one. Gangs of New York. Frank, why is Hughes in charge of our transfer business now when he's leaving in September? It makes no sense. I hope FSG sell up or scrap this stupid head coach nonsense and let's get Areola to buy the players. Again, it's They want to save fucking money. The way it's going, and I keep saying this, and this is for, I'm talking about every club, but it's more about the economy today. Look, you've got a dump in the White House, and he's fluctuating the oil prices by coming out with lies on his social network. So, anyway, the stock market, they're as thick as him. They believe what he's doing and saying, and he's making a lot of money, and he's making you a lot of money. He's in there. I've never known a president to boast how much money he's making. He's making billions. Where do you think the money that goes to Ukraine, where does it get washed? Where's it laundered? It's laundered in Ukraine, and the money is recycled and it goes back to whoever sent it. That's why you've got in Monaco, which should be tomorrow night, this, but that's why in Monaco there was a terrible assassination plot. And the people are giving this country who's going out assassinating people. They've just tried to assassinate one of their own, but they've assassinated Russian generals, haven't they? And people are giving them money because of the fucking Russophobia that's engulfed in Europe. And they're giving them money. And it's just come out now, hasn't it, that Ukraine blew up the Nord Stream and they're still giving them money. That's for tomorrow night, though. Fucking hell. Bluey says, "Oh, you're a bad man." It's shock ice. Yeah, don't mind shock ices. Nice to see Diogo Jota Memorial was installed today for him and his brother Andre on the eve of the anniversary. You'll never walk alone. JFT night. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And Toscana, Sean Connery was offered a contract by Matt Busby at Man United. He was 22 at the time, but chose to continue with his acting, and the rest is history. Say like I was making a film next week. Right, me and Uma Thurman. Right, me and Uma. And he said, "Now listen, Frank, we want you to do this film." And I said, "All right." He said, "But you're playing the romantic lead." Oh, okay then. And you'll be with Uma Thurman and Jennifer Aniston. I said, "Do we kiss the both of them?" "Yeah, you'll be kissing the both of them." He said, "But you've got to have that big pearly smile. So I want to see you smile now." I said, "What do you mean you want to see me smile?" You know, could you imagine me saying that? "I want to see you smile now." Oh. Do you think I'd get the job? Or do you think they get that done? Get your tooth fixed. I didn't know that about Sean Connery and the Man United thing. And Blue says, "Spoiler chat with bin dippers and football chat." Yes. I said no football at the beginning. I always say it, but Stephen is he's one of our regulars. I always read out comments, Bluey. Even your comments. Under the stand. I was born under this. My sister used to work for Fazzackley and Aintree, says Janet. Go away, did she? You're in good hands, Frank. Thank you, Janet. Thank you. Thank you. And Stephen said, you can't beat our yesterdays. Those were the days, not like it is today, which is sad indeed. Good shout. And Johan, did I tell you about my college mates landing in Alabama and immediately had a license to buy firearms from the same place they buy their... Go away, Walmart. Go away. Walmart. It's a mad place, isn't it? And you know what? You know, people blame the guns. The guns, believe it or not, can't fire themselves. They can't pull the trigger back. And they can't squeeze the trigger. They can't, pull the cock thing back and fire. It's got to be a person with a hand and a mind. I follow that. You know that I follow all them crimes. It's shocking what they do in America, mate. And Bluey, fire at will. Which ones will, Serge? Yeah. Which ones will? Fire I like that. West Side Story, a classic, says Janet. See the way Janet talks about Putin all the time, because, as you know, Janet, there's all hidden meanings there, She's talking about Lavrov, Putin, everybody. She's talking about. She's talking about Kiev as well, and Lukashenko of Belarus. When are they going to invade? Will Zelensky really attack Belarus? That's all it means. MI6. Belgium is not a real country. 3 national languages is not a country. It's a project in the neo-Euism. Yes, neo-Euism. Good shout, like that. Fucking hell, have you seen it all up to finish? Enjoy myself, you see. That's what I mean. You call it the Netherlands, don't you? And if you call it, Belgium, sorry. And it's like the Netherlands. You don't know whether to call it Holland or the Netherlands. Because it says in Holland, is it? It's the Netherlands that play. It's mad. Janet and Stephen Graham was in the gangs of New York. No, he wasn't. Sure, he was. He was in there, the Irishman. And the Empire Boardwalk or something. Was the butcher from the gangs of New York based on a real person, Frank? Yes. Yes. I'll do that. I'll do that one day. I'll do the gangs. Fucking horrible. Bluey, Papillon takes some beating. Yes. But it's McQueen, isn't it? An Hoffman. Great film, though. And my old mate, Steve Mulholland. Hi, Frank. I just got home after meeting. A couple of ex-workers, colleagues in Old Swan. Oh, go away. A few bevies, eh? Few bevies, eh, mate? Don't blame you. Can everyone hit the likes for Frank, please? Thank you. Thank you, Stephen Cochran. Thank you, mate. I've only got 2 likes, what I can see up there. And do you know what it is as well? It's subscribe, and I've got to have subscriptions to get the algorithm up there. And it's always stuck on the same fucking number. You want to say, Uma Thurman and Jennifer Aniston are 50 now. You need Margot Robbie and Anna de Armas besides you now, is it? Thank you. Thank you. I forgot about that lovely Anna and Margot. Yes. Slipped my mind. Oh, I forget who's knocking around with that Anna de Armas. It's a good actor as well. Forget who it is. It's not a fucking dope, like, you know what I mean? These arseholes. And I'll bring you some flavoured waters. You're on your recovery, Frank. Thank you, Janet. Appreciate that. Really, I do. But it's only got to be strawberry. I don't like any other. I'm just used to strawberry. Thank you for that, though. They are not really bothered what you call it. They are cool, says Blue. What's that? Yep, Stephen Graham was, go away, was he? Gangs of New York, was he? Didn't know that. And that was from Bluey, and Janet says the same. I've never watched it. Never watched it. With the great Irish actor either. 3 times Oscar winner. Great actor then. My Left Foot. Who was the first person to die in the film Zulu? It was Will, because they shot him fire at Will. Oh, you can't make these fucking things up, can you? It's like what Bluey said. Fire at Will. And the reply came, which one is Will? And the Vader. He was Frank Stephen Graham in, yeah. Yeah, it just shows you, doesn't it? I didn't think he was. He's been in fucking loads, hasn't he? When I went to his birthday party, it was me and him was just walking up, Stephen Graham, and I was talking about actors at Liverpool because we'd just been to see Drew Schofield and Stephen Fletcher in a two-man show in the Pauline Daniels Theatre when she had it. And I said, who's the finest actor to come out of there? The city, who's the finest scouser? And he said, and I agreed with him, Drew Schofield. Drew Schofield. And Uma, hi Frank, how are you? I am fine and healthy. Thank you. I'm good, thanks, Uma. Finishing now, mate. I'm finishing. Unfortunately, Uma. Netherlands or Holland? Holland to me, Bluey. Reminds me of the Nether regions. Seeing the Netherlands. Have you seen This Is England with Graham Frank? I won't watch anything like that. I don't like tuggery. That's me. Tom Cruise. I don't mind Tom Cruise, Vader. And I'll tell you for why I don't mind him. He does all his own stunts. And he's good to the people who he works with, rather than some other pricks who don't give people time of the day, from the crew. And I asked Stephen Graham about Nick Cage, because I'd just seen a film that he was in with him and Ron Perlman, called The Witch, Season of the Witch or something like that. And he said he's a lovely man. A lovely, lovely man. Stephen Graham said about Nick Cage, what he'd done for the crew and that. When he left, gave them everything. Big party and $2,000 each, even for the cleaners, he said. People who brushed up, give them envelope $2,000. Toscana, there is 15 likes showing at my end. Oh, thank you, Toscana. Thank you, sweetheart. And Uma says, Diamante deal closed, unfortunately. Now, who will fill the shoes of Salah? Is it Barcola or someone else? I was on was it last night? Yeah, last night, talking of football. I don't know. I don't get into all that, Uma, to be honest, because you can go on any podcast and it's all the same. It's Diamante every day. Now it's Barcola every day. It's the way it is. I suppose Man City will go for him and get him. Simple as that. Janet says, Steve was a young kid. And Toscana. I spent time with Margot Robbie. So over in Oz when she was in Neighbours. Lovely girl, very down to earth. Yeah, she's get right there, Mrs. Jessup. She's Australian. Frank, do every live stream of every Liverpool matches. I will see your every I'll do a watch along. I'll do a watch along, even if they're doing live pre-season. I'll be doing it as well, Uma. But they're playing in America. And Johan to Toscana. She's incredibly humble. And Bluey, Scully. Yes, that's him, Bluey, lad. Cracking fella. Love him. Janice says, Stephen's dad was my son's best nurse at Winston Aussie. Oh, go away. Go away. His dad. And Mark Simon. Hiya, Mark. Glenda Jackson was the best. Jodie was the best with Jodie Comer. Not far behind. Both brilliant actors. Glenda Jackson, double Oscar winner. Should have won 4, they reckon. No, 5. She should have won 5 Oscars. But they said we can't give the Brits all the time. Genuine. Glenda Jackson, a beautiful lady. But she was an activist along with Vanessa Redgrave. Vanessa Redgrave was a great activist, along with Jane Fonda. But Jodie Comer, brilliant, and she hasn't lost her accent. Yes, she can play any accent, if you know what I mean. But Glenda, it says I follow things, like then and now, and actors come up, and it says, get onto this. Glenda Jackson, born Birkenhead, Cheshire. Not Merseyside, Cheshire. Rex Harrison, born Huyton, Lancashire. What does that tell you? Johan to Uma. Join us when the season begins. You'll hear Frank cursing every 5 seconds. He might be a priest. Shouldn't have told him. And his dad is an unsung hero. You mean Stephen Graham's? Anyone who works for the NHS, yes, I agree with you there, And the Vader says, when I was young, I thought the Netherlands was in Peter Pan. I always think the Nether regions to me. I mean, Cruz is or was dating Anna de Armas. Yeah, that's him. I like Cruz though. Thank you, Vader. You know what I say? I lose track. I lose the thread. It's just like when someone says, yeah, he's a right C, if you know what I mean. I hate that word. He's a right C. So, but I'm saying, he's a right C. And you go, I'm sorry, he's a right C. And, a bit further down, they say, I was talking to such a body. Because you are a right C. My lips not half so. Then the inside there. Yeah, there is. That's right. The Dutch don't care what people call it. They are the coolest people ever, says the Bluey. Do you reckon I'm cool? Don't feel cool. And Johan says Nick Coppola was brought up in a studio. That's why he has respect for every crew member who works there. Was he? Must have been, mustn't he? Do you know what I'm after? Eh? Excuse me. And Mark says, I want 2 Portugal wingers, Leao and Conceição, and we're good to go. But wanting everyone to be honest, Mark. You know, these are on the podcast. And Steve Holland. Mexico. Want any of them to win. To be honest, anybody rather than America. Good night, all, says Janet. Sleep tight. Good night, Janet. Thanks for your contribution. And Johan says Vanessa Redgrave was blacklisted since she spoke about yeah, and that's going years ago. Years ago, Johan, you know that. And it's wrong, isn't it? I just hope to see Jason this weekend. I've got things on there, and I want to show them. I really do. Oh, poor bitch. Excuse me. But you're right there, Johan. Vanessa Redgrave, brilliant woman, brilliant lady. And Jane Fonda. Shows you they've moved the boundaries. All the boundaries have been moved, mate. Every boundary. Toscana to Johan. Definitely, she's never forgotten her roots and still keeps in touch with some of the ex-actors from the Aussie soap. G'day there, Mrs. Jessup. Is that Margot Robbie? And Uma to Mark. I would love to see Conceição on the right wing. He is a good dribbler and provide nice assist. Frank, what are your thoughts? Yeah, I don't mind that lad at all. But all the prices are absolutely ridiculous. I wanted that Tonali. But, and as the Johan says, Uma, no footy tonight, mate, sorry. So, and Bluey says, oh, put some buns in. I've got, I wonder if you can see it. See there? Yeah. Right. It's terrible, you know, the coordination. It's horrible. Horrible. I've got no, to be honest, Blue, I've got no Bonziella. None of them whatsoever. Okay, says, that's nice. That. All right, my lads. Thank you. And Steve said, if some actor played me in a film, it would have to be Tom Cruise. And if anyone had to play me, be me a double. It'll be Brad Pitt. Me and Brad image you one another. That's why, when I finish this, I just pull this here and pull it down to mask, you see. And what you'd see below the mask is Brad Pitt. Me and Brad. So he's have to play me, Steve, while Cruise plays you. He's a good actor there, Cruise. I like him. And I like his franchise of Mission Impossible. And Bluey says, "You're cooler than the fans, Frank." Hey! I don't know whether you're taking the Michael there or what. Cool as an iceberg, Frank. Oh, well, no. Now I know that you're a pair of ears are taking the Michael. Oh, Uma. Okay, Frank, good night. Good night, Uma. You look after yourself, fella. Watch out for fucking elephants and lions where you live. And Bluey says, Rex Harrison night in Lancashire. Nah, it's Merseyside, mate. No, but that's what they say, Lancashire. They just don't want to say Merseyside. That's mad. Bluey's laughing his little head off. And Uma says, I'm going to finish on this. Frank, do you love Heath Ledger acting in The Dark Knight? Yeah. Yes. Unfortunately, again, these people get involved with drugs and they could just over, the score. Just overindulge, shall I say, and they end up dead. Drug overdose. And that's the sad indictment. Listen, people, thank you for joining me tonight. It's been good. And, I do have to thank Jodie Comer for coming on and sitting with me here, talking about her experiences and acting experiences, that is, and her next big project that's coming out very soon. But she kept it a secret. So it's thanks to Jodie, isn't it? Really nice. And Damian Lewis as well, coming on and saying, certain things. So the likes of the Bays that he missed, and Steve Holland. Rex Harrison, The Ghost of Mrs. Muir, 1947. Oh, well, I've got something marked down. Fucking hell. Forget the name of it. With him in. Done in like 19. Riggs Progress. Riggs Progress. That's what I've got marked down. If you like, I think he's great, Rex Harrison. I really think he's strong, King Vader. Riggs Progress. You'll get us on YouTube. Thank you, Frank, says Steve Holland, my old mate. Thank you, Steve. Hope to see you all tomorrow. Night, Frank, says the Vader. Don't forget, I've got the current affairs tomorrow. No football, please. It's all about what's going on in this fucking world of ours. And Johan, good night and see you tomorrow, legends. Onto the global, the Goblin verse, the Goblin ver, meaning the Green Goblin tomorrow. Thank you, Franco and legends. Thank you, Johan. Thank you, mate. You know, you're going to get the sack. You're going to be banned. Come down that fella's name. Tetici there, no? Tetici. When he mentioned it. And the Bluey says, great chat, that. Thanks, Frank, and chat. If you can't have a laugh, well, exactly. Exactly. And stop looking for will you, Bluey? Let's see, they're mad little jokes. Sorry, I missed the start. Oh, yeah, you know, Jodie was great, and so was Damien. It was absolutely brilliant. You know, what they were saying, like, what they were saying. It's not the world. It's the people in it. Yes, Bluey. Yes. You made his name, bald fraud. Yes. Yes, Uma. I certainly did. And on that note, I'm going to finish. You need to copyright the Panzer Brothers. That's brilliant, that. Wasn't it, Johan? We need to copyright the Panzer Brothers. Buenas noches. That was that Buenas noches. That reminds me, Bluey, of Humphrey Bogart and Sierra Madre, Mother Earth. And he's a gold prospector. And he's in Mexico. And these bandits come pretending to be shit, you know, the police. And Bogart says, where's your badges? And the you know, the leader of the badges goes, badges? I have no stinking badges. Badges. Brilliant. Great line. The way he says it, fantastic. Badges? I have no stinking badges. Buenas noches. Okay, good night. Good night. It was fun. Thank you, Uma and the Bluey. Good night. Good night, Bluey. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much to our lovely Italian girls. Buonanotte. Ci vediamo. A domani. A domani. Ragazza. Badges. No sinking badges. Oh, I'm going to finish, boys. See you all tomorrow, 7 o'clock as usual. Thank you so much. Don't forget, it's all about you know what. Thank you. Good night.